Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Ink Panels Graphic Novel Book Club. And for those who might be watching on Twitch, this is our first stream. So if you find this by accident, because not an easy way to brand on there, especially when you're not streaming games, welcome. And if you want to watch some of our older stuff, go check out on YouTube, because I can't actually upload videos unless you're a partner. So our whole back catalog is going to be on there. But this show, basically, Gambit and I started it almost 6 years ago as
Damn.
a kind of cheat code to make us read. Because we had giant read piles that were loading up, and we're like, you know what? Like, let's just do a show. And we used to do it in my living room. Real early in the beginning, and then we started doing live shows. So we kind of rotate each month who picks what. Last month was a kind of random one because Superman came out, so we wanted to do a Superman book. We did not do the same with FF because honestly, I couldn't name an FF book that I really want to read.
Yeah, and honestly, the Fantastic Four book that I would have recommend would have been one of the Mark Miller runs. So,
The Ultimate.
yeah, not the Ultimate. No, his regular Fantastic Four run.
Oh, I thought he did an Ultimate FF. I did like the Hickman run a little bit, and Ryan North now has been pretty good.
Huh. Now I don't know where those books are. I don't see them anywhere. I'll find them. I'll find them later, and I'll show them to you. Which ones I'm talking about. Anyway, back to where we were.
This month, Gambit picked God Country, which came out either before COVID, during COVID. I can't exactly remember. It was somewhere in that time frame.
It was right when the pandemic happened.
It's written by Donny Cates, which if you were reading Venom during the whole Null thing with Ryan Stegman on art, then you're very aware who Donny Cates is. And Geoff Shaw, who I think did the book Crossover with him. I think it was Crossover. I can't remember, but what made you pick this book for this month?
I just wanted to reread it. I know that I got it right before the pandemic happened, and I read it like that first week. One of the first few days from that first week when Florida decided to shut down, that only lasted like 3 weeks. So that first week, I read a bunch of stuff, and I know I had read it, and I know that I had liked it, but I didn't remember anything about it. So I said, this is a great opportunity to reread this book, which contradicts the original idea of reading the stuff that we haven't read in our piles. But yeah, I just wanted to read something that was visually striking, and this book is that.
I'm kind of glad to reread this because other than having a big sword, I remember nothing about this book.
Same, exactly.
And before we get into it, we had a discussion before the show started, and I'm going to put myself out there. So Youngblood was one of the first Image books that came out. We're doing an Image book, and this is kind of reminded me. So Rob Liefeld decided, I guess he got his rights back to Youngblood, and he reissued all of the original issues, but rewritten and a little bit more fleshed out. The fascinating thing is, and shame on me again, morbid curiosity gets me to go, all right, this motherfucker's going on endlessly about how improved this book is. Spoilers, it's not.
It's not.
No, and again, shame on me. I should have known better. But like,
yeah.
He's
you should have asked me. I would have told you, don't waste your time, So I haven't read it. I know that it's not worth the time.
He's selling it directly from his website. He's selling it on his Whatnot shows. Like, you took a bad book and improved it maybe by 0.5.
Wasn't him who said that we didn't need comic book stores anymore or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's doing all these exclusive covers through the site, and I guess people are still
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
don't
fine.
understand. I legit don't understand. And this is a personal opinion. Okay, I don't understand what people see in his work. I personally like his uh, earlier work. Before he started to rush out things just to because he knows he was making good money. Um, his previous earlier work it's actually good. But as he had gotten older, I feel like he's just gotten, I
Lazy.
don't want to use the word lazy, but that's kind of sort of the only explanation that I can give. It feels like his work has gotten lazier and lazier and lazier. He can do good art if he wanted to. If he legit wants to do good art, he would be able to produce really good stuff. But everything looks the same. Everything looks flat, and one dimensional. Doesn't inspire. And I've tried. I can't say that I haven't tried, because every once in a while the comic store puts a book in there and I go like, okay, let me give it a read, but don't put another one of his books in my pile in my folder if I don't ask for it. And I come back with that one. I don't even remember which one was the last one that I read, honestly. But I come back and say, yeah, I was right. Don't do that. So now they don't do it. You know. Uh, but I didn't even know that he was coming out with a reissue of Youngblood.
It's it's shame on me, but like when people like talk about how Frank Miller's art's gotten lazy, yeah, he can barely stand up at this point. So yeah,
So with Miller, I can argue that it's not that he's gotten lazy, is that his health issues put him in a really bad spot, and that's what he's producing right now. And some people like it, some people don't. I personally don't like this new version of Frank Miller's work. I don't. I love his previous stuff, but this new art that he's producing, it just doesn't do it for me.
it's a guy who can barely stand up at this point. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
So I mean, I'm not dissing on the guy or anything like that, because I'm not. I have a shit ton of respect for this man. Um, but his newer stuff, I just can't support it. It's not for me. Now, going
so
back to the other artists, I don't understand what people still see on his work. I just don't see it. I don't understand it. To each his own, of course. If you like it,
yeah.
good for you. If you enjoy his work, that's great. Enjoy it, have fun. But it just doesn't. Not even visually, his work attracts me.
No, and this is the same guy who insulted Alex Ross, saying there's no motion in his art.
He has no. You, you,
Alex Ross is a painter. No,
Listen, again, my opinion. He shouldn't be talking. He shouldn't be criticizing other people's work. He shouldn't. He shouldn't. Now, don't get me wrong. He has an insane amount of vast knowledge of the comic book industry, and I respect what he has brought to the industry throughout the years, because he is responsible for a lot of good stuff happening in the industry, especially during that image revolution. But
yeah,
now he's just like again, to me, he just looks like an old man yelling at the sky, finding things to be angry about that sometimes don't even. What are you talking about? You hide your characters' hands and feet behind smoke and rocks and other characters just so you don't have to draw them. You have
and
you have
pouches.
exactly. You have zero. You don't. You cannot say anything about anybody else's art. And I have a personal bad experience with him, and even
Oh,
still
I
I do
remember.
respect. I do respect. Respect, like I said earlier, what he has brought to the industry and all that. But now he's just like, he's trying to keep himself relevant, but I feel like he's doing it the wrong way.
He's Grandpa Simpson yelling at the ether.
Exactly. It's like,
Damn kids.
stop it, stop it. Like, his argument about Fantastic Four is like, bro, what, really? Nah. No, it's obvious that you're just hating for the sake of hate. He knows that people feed off of that, so he just keeps regurgitating those things for his fans. I'm gonna stop now because
Yeah. So we're now the old guys screaming at the air.
yeah, because now I'm becoming that old man screaming at the air. Yeah.
So God Country. It's weird because I don't remember any of this book except there was a giant fucking sword and an old man.
Sword and an old man. I didn't even remember the old man. I just remembered the giant sword.
And funny enough, I started reading this and I was like putting up the promo stuff and I was like, man, what song can I put with this with a metal, really metal with a sword? So I was like, all right, Metallica, Seek and Destroy.
That's a great song.
Slayer, Raining Blood, South of Heaven. I thought about using the sword, and today I was like, fuck, I should have used Dio, Holy Diver.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's so good.
I apologize to everyone on that. I do love the narration on this. Because the narration tells you immediately, I'm an unreliable narrator because this is a story handed down. And they don't tell you how far down till the very end of the book.
Yeah.
And I want to shout out immediately the colorist, Jason Wordie, because he gets like a weird Kirby crackleism.
Yes.
On some of the art.
Yes.
And I imagine in my head, like, Kirby, if he was drawing this, what it would look like. And those alternate gods, definitely.
So I think that's on purpose. There's one of the panels where you see in the background a drawing of Darkseid and the New Gods poster in one of the rooms. So it's obvious that he's heavily influenced by Kirby's work. But who isn't influenced by Kirby's work right now in this day and age?
Very much so. If nothing else, it's just what Kirby did for the industry. But it starts out saying, long time ago out in Texas, there was this storm. And right away, like, the cops called this guy and his family at this house, and they're like, I don't know how your dad got out of the house, but he got real far. And we find out his dad, Emmet, is suffering from Alzheimer's, and it's made him kind of violent. He doesn't remember anything. And they go in the house, and cops like, listen, it took 2 full-grown men to take him down. Like, we might have to arrest him, or you need to put him in a home. But he starts coming down the stairs, and he's screaming, who are you? Why are you in my house? And he's calling for his wife, who's been dead, to call the police. And he's like, this is my goddamn home. Get out of my home, thieves. Mine. And the granddaughter runs in because she wants to
just in time for him to scream it at her. Yeah.
Yeah, get the fuck out. You hear me? I'll kill you. I'll kill you all. Kill all of you. And she runs out, and the wife and husband get into a fight. And he's like, it's my dad. Like, what do you want me to do? And you probably feel like this discussion has happened a million times between families that suffer through this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can tell that they've had this conversation between them. Like, a few panels later, you learn that she's there not against her will, but that was not her plans for her future with her husband. Was not going to be living in the middle of nowhere in Texas, taking care of an old man that's suffering from Alzheimer's.
And this old man's walking down the street, and he is singing this country song, and then this pack of dogs starts running past me. He thinks they're going to attack him, but it turns out there's this giant tornado coming through town, which the picture of this tornado is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that that's not a natural thing happening. Yes. Exactly where I'm at. No, that's not the page.
And again, like, I have to give credit to the colorist because it just kind of pops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That green is that double page spread that it's insane. And the use of greens versus the dark purple and browns that it has on the land, oh, it's beautiful. And how the light reflects on the ground.
Yeah, it's great. And then it ends up blowing up Emmet's house. Basically, it's like Wizard of Oz. The wife drives back, the kid's running, and luckily, you know, dad's not hurt. And you see this demon phantom coming behind the daughter. And Emmet jumps out, and there's a conversation here that I think is kind of great. They're like, this is the great part here that demon had done fucked up. You see, Roy was a good man in a hard situation. Did the best he could. In my head, I'm reading this like it's the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, that's exactly how. Yeah. That is exactly how it sounds in my head too. That's exactly how the narrator sounds in my head.
But he wasn't a fighter by any stretch. But Roy's father, hell, you ask anybody in the great state of Texas, they'll tell you the same damn thing. Emmet Quinlan was a god.
Was a god.
And this page.
That's a great page. Yeah. It's an insane page. Yeah.
That's like anime level, like explosion.
Yes, and on the next page on panel 3, the way he's standing on a crater, that is very that is very a very anime panel right there.
We get this scene where he's like, Dad, and he's like, Roy, I remember. And he's like, look at his hands, like, when did I get so old? So, this sword named Valofax, it has a name, of course. And
of course it has a name.
He turns and he goes, Did you just say Grandpa? And the little girl runs up to him. They just threatened to kill earlier.
Yeah. She kids are beautiful, man.
And when I talk about the Kirby of all things.
Yep. That is
God of War.
Yep.
And there's the sword they explain is 12 feet tall. That he's just holding and
with one hand as if.
Yeah, he's hugging his grandpa. He's hugging his granddaughter, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, you gotta put the sword down." He's like, "Huh, Dina? That's a damn pretty name." And she's like, "I think Grandpa's sword's pretty."
Yeah, those moments with them, with the old man remembering the kid and enjoying the kid, and the kid just like totally forgets that he screamed at her like a few pages before and was really nasty. I think those pages were really nice because it's like the kid understands that Grandpa is not well, even though it's scary and horrible. She understands that the person that she's looking at now and hanging out with, like in her arms, she knows that this is Grandpa, not the old man that was screaming at her earlier. I like how they handled those pages and the interaction between them.
He's having a flashback when the wife is pregnant with the child and they're in the hospital, and he's showing pictures of the wedding to his dad, and he goes to the curtain. He goes, I remember everything the whole time. Like I was trapped in my own body. I couldn't remember all this stuff. And he's just like, Dad, can you please put the sword down? He's like, oh, I thought I did.
Oh, no, you didn't. He never drops the sword.
No, and we find out coming up that if he puts the sword down, or
he goes back to
having Alzheimer's and forgetting everything again, and he can't abide by that. He also uses the sword to put the house back together, even the fucked up front door, which they refer to quite a few times in this. And he's like,
right.
Oh, I don't have power. The sword does. The sword's doing all the work.
Yeah, so he asked him, like, are you doing this at me? Nah, don't be silly. It's the sword that's doing it.
And we find out the sword talks to him. It's an intelligent sword. And then the god of war falls down their yard. He's like, how about you get the fuck out of my yard?
Yeah, he does a cool superhero landing because that's you have to, you know.
Yes. And they're about to throw down. The sword goes kneel, and the god of war kneels down. He's like, "Oh, I knew not your choice to remain here. Whoa!" And we find out like basically the sword is the god of all blades. Excalibur, it was this sword. Any bladed weapon has been this sword.
Every magical sword of legend of story on every universe on every version of the world or whatever. It's that sword.
And it starts like sassing even Emmet because Emmet's like, "Yeah, that's right, boy. You best watch your Emmet of Clan Quinlan, you too shall conduct yourself in a manner that honors the god of blades. That will be my final word on the matter. I leave the rest to you both." And they go on a nature hike together. And they kind of explain like what's going on with the sword and how this God of War's dad basically built it from a dying universe. But the blade kind of has a mind of its own, and it judges who's worthy of carrying it and who isn't. And he's like, "Yeah, like my dad's gonna want that back." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not giving it back." So he's like,
Yeah.
Unless you can cure my memory." And he's just like, "Well, do you have anything to declare to my dad?" He goes, "Yeah, tell him come and get it." So he goes back and tells like the space god, he's like, "Yeah, apparently this is a thing that his people say. It's well known in his realm. He relayed it to me, their meaning. It's kind of a battle cry, and his people during a time of great historical unrest against a ruler from..." What are his words? "Yes, my lord," he said, "come and take it."
Come and take it. When they were having this conversation and they're explaining the story, there's a panel here where they are talking, and he says, "Today I remember I lost my wife all over again. That's not a nice memory, but it belongs to me. God damn it! I should be able to remember my girl." And that shit, that panel broke me a little bit. Not gonna lie.
He's at her gravestone.
Yes. Yeah. That panel break me a little bit. Not broke me a little bit. Not gonna lie. But then I got back into it when he says, "Come get it, come and take it." Sorry.
This kind of gives you the idea of how it's the god of blades.
I like that this sword is the image logo.
Oh shit!
You didn't notice that?
No,
It's the image logo. That's it. That's what it is. It's the eye.
I did not even.
That's wild, right?
And we have the grandfather's downstairs with the granddaughter, and the wife comes up, and she's like, "You want a beer?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Wait, how many have you had?" She goes, "Enough to have this conversation." He's like, "I'm gonna need to catch up." And she's like, "Your dad's..." Yeah, she's like, "Your dad's not that bad. I was wrong to say the things I did. I feel awful about you're grieving." And he's like, "I think I'm gonna need to catch up with you if we're out to have this conversation." She's like, no, like he's being all playful. He actually shaved. He got dressed.
Now she can see it. Which is often, in a situation like that, the person that is there is not the person that you knew, and it's a completely different person. And they play on that really well. They show you that the person that he is now that he has a sword is not the person that you met at the beginning of the book, which is really good.
I love they're having that conversation. The granddaughter's down. She's like, "I'm bored. Can I play with Valifax?" He's like, how about we ask him? And he's like, "Careful now." She's like, "Hello. Do you want to play with?" He's like, "Do you think me a toy? I do not have the time for this, child. I am not your grandpa's sword. And furthermore, I am not a he. I am a blade. I am all blades. As we speak, I am at war in more realms than you can even imagine. I am blocking endless blows, flying through the throats of 1,000 ancient galactic evils. and drowning in the blood of a million dying warriors in places you've never heard of and you'll never see. And he's like, whoa, easy. And she goes, and he's like, Dee, why don't you run along? And she's like, but little Quinlan, I am also held by noble champions fighting against odd, immeasurable, and power unfathomable. I feel each of their trembling hands, the thunderous beating of their hearts. I know that they are afraid of what may come when I am needed, but that this is a fear unfounded. When the time comes, I will be there for all of them, as I am here with you. And she runs aside like, Mommy! And the sword's like, I'm not accustomed to speaking with children.
So I don't know what you want me to tell her, and that's where I come from. This is how you talk to kids.
And Emmett's like, yeah, no shit.
It's like, bro, dial it down a notch.
And he walks up there and he hears his son saying, I wish that he would die, basically.
Yeah.
I wish bad things. I prayed something would come and take him away, and then something tried. And he walks
and then something tried, so he feels guilty about it.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you got any more of them beers? And they go down, talk, and he's trying to get it out of his dad. And finally he goes, can we just talk about this? How insane this is, Dad? And his dad just turns around, your mother hugged you too much. And he's just like, unbelievable. And then he's like, I heard what you said, and you got to get all of that foolishness out of your head. You didn't bring that demon thing here. He's like, no, Valifax didn't tell me. When I found out I was sick, when your mother and I found out, I just couldn't stand the idea of not being able to be present. I knew it was coming, and I thought I could handle it, and I didn't. And I didn't want to be a burden. And he starts crying. And then the dead come to life and attack him.
Yeah, because you have to interrupt that beautiful moment between dad and son.
And it's the god of death now coming to get the sword. And he's like, he is of the cowardly way. He would send his legions while he watches from the shadows. Nothing will hide from you. You just see a legion of the fucking dead out in the yard.
A whole army of dead people.
And the sword's like, just breathe, Emmet. Keep it cool. Keep it cool.
Chill. Let's do this.
And one of my little favorite scenes is Valifax takes control of all the kitchen knives and uses them to attack the dead from all over, from outside and inside. And they're just like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I like that the little girl's like, yeah. He's like, what? She sees the all of the blades just stuck in the wall at the end, and she goes like, yeah, which would be my natural reaction to that too.
The god of death takes the granddaughter basically to hell, and Grandpa's like, well, I guess let's go.
Yeah, so he did not say hell. So where are we going? To hell, I guess. All right, let's do this.
And I love that their version of hell is like a twisted version of the land of Texas.
Well, he explained, the sword explains that it's like that part of hell where they at. It's like beneath where, yeah, like, so it's not like all hell is like that. It's just that it's directly below where they are in Texas. So I guess that hell looks different. Yeah, I guess that hell will look different depending on what or where you are, in the world. It's like a distorted, perverted, fucked up version of the landscape that you know. And I also like in those pages, in this issue, they started to add colors to the energy on the sword, which in the previous issues, it was just white or really bright yellow, not as colorful as they started doing in this issue.
But I think they also made it stand out because of the landscape. So like this is their depiction of what hell looks like in Texas, where it's almost like a colorless, monochromatic.
Yeah, a negative version of the land.
Hues of blue. And also, like, they show these giant spiders eating a giant rabbit.
You see, I don't think it's a. I thought that at first, but I don't think that's it. I don't think that that's what it is. I think that we are seeing it from up close, and he's really far away. It's just that the way that it's inked,
Oh,
it makes it look like it's the same, the same panel. But if you put the camera on the floor next to a regular spider and eating a regular bunny, and you put him really far away, he's gonna look that small. I think that's just a perspective. Yeah, I think there's a perspective trick that tricks you into believing that and thinking that it's a giant thing, which it might as well be a giant bunny dying and being eaten by two giant spiders. But I don't think that that is the case. I think that that's just a perspective, because that would be like it's literally the only thing in those pages that would be that disproportionate. They would have made sure that they would have made sure that you see that other things are disproportionately large in contrast to him, so that you understand that that is like the norm. I think that this is just at the angle of the perspective that he used, the point of view that he used.
we find out the god of death's hiding in a church here, but
Yep.
his hordes are still in the land of the living, outside of the house and getting ready to attack. So he's trying to basically confuse Emmet. And while that's going on, the god of death's like, quiet, you'll wake the baby, when he kicks the door in. And he's just like, this ain't got to be like this. You give her to me now and we'll be on our way. And he's just like, he's sighing. He's like, there's just this matter of my father's sword. It's rather important to him. Now his kingdom is in ruin. It's his legacy, I suppose, I guess. It's all rather pointless from where I'm sitting, and heaven knows the sword isn't going to change much at all. My father will leave us as will you. Everyone leaves. Everybody dies. And he's like, well, I'm leaving here with my granddaughter and a sword. He's like, Emmett, what I mean is, it's really how you want to be remembered. Do you want your family's last thoughts of you to be as desperate man without the sense to just let it go? You know what? I'm not getting through to you. Let's try something else. And it's like, Emmett, the sword's going, Emmett, don't look. Please look away. And he's like, what? It's like, dear, come out here. And he sends his wife, the shade of his wife, out there to talk to him. And the sword's just like, it doesn't matter. Look, close your eyes. Do it now. And he's just not listening.
He got the chance to see. Yeah, he got to see his wife one more time. Of course, he's gonna not listen to reason at that point.
And he's apologizing. He's like, I don't understand. I couldn't find you. I'm here now. Just stay with me. Stay with me. And he's like, love. And he grabs the sword. The sword's like, you're not worthy. You all know
Yep.
what happens when people touch me who shouldn't be. He's like, you're a coward. You're unworthy of receiving. You don't deserve what you already have. And they show like the sword basically twisting his body around.
Yeah. I mean, they describe in the first issue what would happen if you're not worthy of the sword.
So it'd be like Thor's hammer. You can't lift it up, except this one will just fucking kill you.
Except this one will kill you.
And the dead are charging up the stairs, and they're just about to reach Roy and his wife, and they disappear just as they're about to reach. And there's this heart-wrenching picture here, the page where he's hugging his wife, and she turns to dust.
Yes. That is a really sad panel. Yes. A whole page. Not just a panel, just a whole page. Yeah.
Then it turns to rage, where he's like crying, and he's like, you took her. He's about to turn into Super Saiyan.
What I take from that is that he drops the sword, right, and it's going to take a few minutes before he goes back to before the Alzheimer takes a hold of him, because he had a few minutes to beat the crap out of the god of death with his bare hands before he grabbed the sword again.
He kills the god with his bare hands. He doesn't use the sword.
To be fair, the sword did like 99% of the damage.
It turned him into basically Gollum.
So it was easier for him to go and finish him.
And the sword's just like, I am sorry, I can't imagine. He's like, shut the fuck up. Because he's a tough Texas guy who's not really in tune with his emotions. And he gets back to Earth and gets the granddaughter up, and he goes to the tree, and he's like, I know you can hear me. I want you to know I'm ready. Let's finish this. And
he comes another giant tornado.
Again, this is Kirby shit from New Gods.
Oh yeah. That is a great page.
They show the making of the sword, where basically they used a star and killed the universe to make the sword. And how, it was just conquering the galaxy until something bigger came and started killing their galaxy, because nothing can turn back time. And I think that's the great thing. It says, a force even greater than the mighty atom began to crumble the kingdom of always. Time. Inevitability, all things die. The sun that gave life to Adam's kingdom grew cancerous and imploded. In the final hours of destruction, Atom used every bit of his power to basically save a tiny part of his kingdom. It's a husk of its former self. It's him and his two sons, now one. An ashen ghost of a kingdom a blink away from being forgotten.
Now it's just like an island floating next to a black hole.
Yep. And then he's yelling at his son, going like, go get my sword. He's like, as long as, if he's got the sword, we can't harm him. He's like, Balgrim's gone. He failed me, and now he is gone. Now you get the fuck out. And it's like, I don't want you to think me a coward, but I'm your last son. We have no lineage. This is it. And then
go get my sword. Fetch my sword, boy.
Sword, boy. And he's like, Emmet Quinlan, this is your last chance to surrender the blade to me. And he's like, I do not wish to kill you, but if you force my hand, I assure you I will. And he's just like, you'll certainly try. And I was like, God damn, this motherfucker is just
again another masterful way of showing the size of these two. He does a lot of these pages like that big panel that takes 2 pages. Yeah. This big 2-page spread is beautiful.
And he's basically got Thor's hammer.
Yes.
Like, it shoots lightning. And they talk about, like, the ground's basically swelling and breaking like ocean waves with every blow of this hammer. And the way the air smelled like it was on fire when Emmet Quinlan swung Valifax through the wind and the rain and chopped a goddamn lightning bolt in 2. And it blows up like a fucking Evangelion explosion. Yeah,
he hits it really hard, and he hits that side of the mountain like really hard. And I like that. Then they describe like that he said something like he cursed in an alien language that there's no translation for it, but it would go something. But from his reaction, it would be like oh shit.
And then he's like, come on, boy. He's like, you fool. And he's just like, Valifax after all. And it wasn't, it wasn't there anymore, and you folks was, but that ain't to say there ain't no proof. Hell, you can take it from all the scars left on the land and on each other that this battle happened. And they end up almost hitting the house.
Yeah.
They blow up the truck, and Aristus is like, stand back. It's not safe. And then Dad comes holding Thor's hammer. The sword, he's like, I said move.
Yeah. He's coming in with both of them. It's like, bro, what's up? Now I have your hammer and your sword. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. With his belly hanging out over his trousers.
That's the thing I love the most about this character is that he got this sword. He got clean shaven. They changed the way he looked, but they didn't give him a huge superhero body all of a sudden. He's still this tall, big belly dude that has consumed a lot of beer in his lifetime.
And Aristus is like, Emmet, please, this is not. And he's like, it's mine. You hear me? And they're like, Dad, I'll kill you. And then the little girl goes, Grandpa, stop. And he's like, huh? Oh, hey. Broke him out of his bloodlust. And he's like, oh, God. And he's like, I could have hurt you. And he's like, and they're like, it's over. He drops the hammer. And he's like, this has to end. And he's like, without the sword, things will be tough, but maybe you can try a doctor. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm not giving the sword up.
I'm not giving the sword up.
He's like, Roy, I'll lose everything. He's like, you're scaring the shit out of my family. He's like, this is not getting better. This isn't okay. And he's like, your family. He's like, Dad, I know how hard this must be for you, but you have to give it back. You have to let this go. And Aristus is like, listen to your son. He's like, I can't go home. The portals that allow me to travel between the worlds are down. My father has barred me unless I return with Halifax. He's like, do you not see we'll never allow you to have it? He would sacrifice 1,000 sons and raise this realm just to have it back. He asked the sword. He's like, hey, you in there? He's like, yes, Emmet, always. He's like, I need you to do something. He's like, I know what you seek. It'll be difficult, but yes, it is possible. Are you very sure about that? He's like, I am. He's like, let us be away. He's like, I'm sorry, son. I got to try.
He's gotta.
And this, to me, is where the Kirby crackle goes into full effect. Wrong page.
Yep. I mean, you can see that in every other page. You can see it. It's used in every other page, and it's used well too. It's not overdone, and it's not something that you wish you could see more. It's just enough.
And he's like riding on a necrotic shark. And Aristus is just sitting there where he's like talking to the Janie and the granddaughter. He's like, she's like, I think Grandpa's gonna win. He's like, very well then. She's like, D honey, why don't you go tell your daddy good night? She's like, okay.
I like that they're having this conversation. Like, I'm pretty sure that the conversation went something like, do you think that your dad can beat up my grandpa? Like when my dad can beat up your dad, But it was like, yeah, okay.
And he's talking to, he's like, you and Roy, you have something that my family does not, something we will never have. You have her, you have an heir. Your story will be told. Try to remember that. And then Grandpa rides the necrotic shark in there. And we see how fucking giant Aristus' dad is. And he's 3 times bigger than Aristus is.
Yep.
And he's like, I reckon you're Adam. You think we ought to talk? And he just fucking says nay and just starts firing at him. And Aristus is like, hey, I think the walls are falling down. I can travel back. But this is an onslaught of the power of Adam. And he's literally like, please, please. And he goes, was that please? He goes, so you do have some manners about you. That's good. He's like, no, don't. Rest assured, you're only alive because I cannot pry Halifax from your hand. And he's like, don't turn your back on me. You want your sword back? Fine. I never cared about having no goddamn sword. I'm not like you. I ain't no warrior or a god. I just want to know who my family are. I mean, can't you understand that? I don't want to fight any of you, but Halifax chose me, and I have to think this all means something. Things happen for a reason. He's like, Emmet, do you really not know what you are? Do you not understand your place in all this? He's like, huh? He goes, you're nothing. You think you matter. You think your pathetic family means anything. Once I have Halifax, I'm going to raise her realm to ash. So that's your villain monologue. And she's like, give me
Yep.
my sword. And he throws Valifax, and they re-say what Valifax said earlier of, it was then on the very edge of fading away that Emmet remembered something. Something Valifax had told him a while back. Something about flying through the throats of ancient intergalactic evil. About immeasurable odds and unfathomable power. And the thunderous hearts and trembling hands. And Valifax comes back to him. He's like, oh, you came back. He's like, yes. The wounds you have suffered are not within my power to heal. You're dying.
Yeah, I'm here, but you're gonna die.
And Aristus goes back. He's like, I think you want to come, Roy. Get your dad. So he goes, and Aristus' dad is beating the shit out of him to death. And we have a father-son throwing down, and the other one's having a caring moment. And Roy's like, I got you. I got you. And here's where
This is the part that did it for me, most definitely.
And I'd like to be able to tell you that in that moment, with his son's help, Emmet got right back up and fought that son of a bitch like a lion. Or that Emmet and his son had a final moment to say to each other all the things left unsaid between a father and son. But, well, that's just not how this story goes. No, the truth is, in the end, the damage done had left Emmet too weak to fight. He's like, Dad, what do you know? Dad, if you let go of the sword, you'll... And unable to speak... But that was okay, because in that moment, Emmet finally did let go. And when he did, he gave his son everything, all his memories. Every day, every hour, all the lessons Emmet learned as a father, all the triumphs and all the failures, all of the things left unsaid, the things he could never say. Everything he ever was, all of the things he loved, and all of the things he fought for, his memories, all of them. He passed them to Roy, and then he was gone. And Geoff Shaw does a masterful job with Jason.
Yeah. Yes.
And he, in tears, and he touches heads with his dad and says, thank you, Dad, just as Aristus is getting killed by his father. And he's like, you son of Quinlan, I am Adam, God of kings, eternal Lord. And he's just like, I don't care. And just like that, he uses Valifax to teleport him and his father away from Adam. And the realm crumbles. And Roy takes his dad to a sun and basically sends him in the sun like a Viking funeral pyre.
Yep.
He comes back and throws the sword, and it says, as for Valifax, well, this is probably going to rile more than a few of you folks. But they never saw it again, neither. I know. Seems like a waste, don't it? The thing about it is, though, this really never was a story about a magic sword. And she's like, did Grandpa win? He's like, yeah, he did, Outlaw, he did. And so Roy told his daughter the story, the part she didn't know anyway, and Grandma D told her kids that same story. And then those kids grew up and they told it to me. So we're 2 generations past that telling this story. They fixed the house to sell. And he's like, I wish I could have fixed this damn door. And his wife's like, nah, I think it's good like that, part of the charm.
It's part of the charm, yeah.
And they make a thing, like I said, it's not necessarily a happy story, but that ain't really the point, I don't think. Point is that we keep telling it, and that if we live our lives the way Emmet did, we find the folks who love us, and we fight like hell to hang on to them and love them back the best we can. Those people will always remember us, and none of us will ever truly be gone. We'll just become stories. And that is the end.
And that is the end. I like the ending of this book. It was a little bit sadder than I was expecting it, and like we said earlier, I didn't remember any of it. So it took me by surprise. Those last few pages, it surprised me again. But I think it's a nice ending for this book.
And I love that the narrator, we think the whole time, is Dee.
Yeah.
It's her grandchildren.
It's her grandchildren, yep.
Because that was funny, because I started reading and I was like, does Dee end up with the sword at the end? Because clearly Emmet's going to die.
Yeah. No, they just throw the sword in a corner and that's it. We don't see it ever again. That's it. That's it.
Now, the funny
It's over.
thing is, uh, Halifax comes back. Donny Cates with Geoff Shaw do a book called Crossover for Image later on, and Halifax comes back in that series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
so the new chosen user.
Hmm. So I'm gonna have to read that. Okay.
Didn't love it.
No. Okay.
No,
So I might not read it.
back when Jen and I were doing the monthly show, like it was a weird series, and she had all
Yeah.
her conspiracy theories about what was actually going on with it, and then she was wrong, and she's like, "All right, they fucked me over. I can't."
Is that series over? Was it just a few issues?
It was like 12 issues.
12 issues. I'll have to look it up and maybe I'll give it a read. But I honestly think that this book has a good ending and there's no need to continue it, you know?
No, so if Halifax just shows up, it has nothing to do with this story at all. It just shows up.
Yeah, but still, I mean, but now I'll be not forced, but now I feel like I need to read that book just because I want to know what the sword is doing later, you know?
It's weird because like I think we've done like 2 or 3 emotionally deep
Books.
especially with like dad stuff, because I mean, of course, like Superman for All Seasons was all about
Yes.
Jonathan and Clark's relationship, and then we did another like family book here, which I didn't remember being a super family book. I do remember basically being like a West Texas barbarian. I enjoyed this book a lot more than I think I did the first read through, because I think I just powered through it and didn't really give it time to breathe.
Yeah. I don't know. I read it faster this time. It took me less time to read it this time around. I remember when I don't remember anything. I didn't remember anything about it, you know. And now that I get to the end, I still don't remember that I read all of that. So it's weird. But I know what I remember is how I felt as after I read it. I knew that I liked it, and I knew that it was visually uh, very captivating. So I knew that at least I was in for a good visually uh, entertaining book. I wasn't expecting it to get that deep at the end and getting me emotional at the end.
It's very rare that I just don't remember anything from it. And I know like that whole time during COVID, I was not in the right state of mind for a lot of stuff.
Oh.
So like I don't know, because like there was a point in time Jen and I were reading like 20 to 30 books a week and talking about them. So like I don't remember anything except about the talking sword.
Yeah. I didn't remember that the sword talk. I only remember that there was a big sword. That's it. That's all I remember about the book.
Being that emotional, I do remember the sword being like the size of the Final Fantasy VII Buster sword. But the emotional beats in this, I really do not remember. I not remember at all. But
so what do you rate it? What do you rate it?
I think if we're going out of 5, I'd say I'm 3.5, 4. Like it's better than average.
I give it a 4. Yeah.
I definitely did really like a good chunk of it, though. The end very much hit me in a place I was not expecting the way it was going.
Yeah.
I thought they handled the death really well.
Yes.
And the narrator really helped with it. And I do love the end where they're like, I know this is going to piss you off thinking this book was about this magic sword, but it's not.
But it's not. It's not about the sword.
And I thought that was a kind of for the writer, like a great fuck you to the audience. Like literally that sword that the whole focus, we just threw it on the ground and forgot about it.
And just forget, it's like, okay, that's it.
Yeah,
You see,
basically, it was
but
worthless.
when Luke Skywalker does that, people, loses their shit.
I still like Last Jedi.
Oh, I love The Last Jedi.
Just
I love
because they
that
took
movie.
chances.
I love that movie. But of those three, of that trilogy, Last Jedi for me is the best one. The first one is just a rehash of everything that we've seen before, and the last one was just a bunch of fan service that made no sense. But we're not here to talk about that. We're not.
No,
We're here to talk about God Country. Yeah, I give it a solid 4 to this book. It's really enjoyable. I like that it's contained. I like that you don't have to read anything before that. You don't have. There's nothing else to read after it. That's it. Just these six issues. So it's a good solid read. If you're not if you're not a casual comic reader and you just want to read something every once in a while that doesn't have any heavy baggage of history behind it or after it, or leave you in a cliffhanger that you go like, oh shit, now I need to buy volume 2. This is a good read for that.
and the thing I appreciate is the writer gives enough space for the art to breathe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's important because everything is so scaled in a certain way. Like you have to have those double pages showing the perspective of like
Oh yeah, you
how
definitely need
fucking
it.
giant the space god is. Like
You have to drive the point home that he's a really big dude.
yeah, and kind of it's like the thing where Marvel with like Thor. You want him to be a fucking giant showing up and he's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but I really enjoyed the colors. I think it's the first time I've seen Jason Wordie, or at least his colors popped out to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's not a
What
color I
else?
normally see.
What else have they worked on?
I'm sure he did um, crossover. He's probably
Yeah,
Geoff Shaw's uh,
go-to guy.
go-to colorist.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, he's actually doing the colors on a book I'm loving right now.
Oh, yeah.
We're taking everyone down with us.
Okay. I have not heard about that book.
Oh, I'm loving it right now.
Yeah,
It's
it's another
basically
book that I guess I'll add to my reading list.
it's basically what happens when James Bond basically his cult of villains kind of turn on each other,
Hmm.
and one of the mad scientist ones has a group of robots. His base gets infiltrated and he puts his intelligence into one of his robots, and the robot's taking care of his daughter and trying to get the daughter to the mother, and she's kind of insane. She's like, we gotta take all these motherfuckers down. And he's like, by the way, that's your mother. And she's like, what? So he's colored some Black Hammer Visions issues, Butcher of Paris
Okay.
crossover, Cyberpunk 2077, Dead Eyes. Oh, some Deadly Class. I did not know that.
Oh, there you go.
The Duke miniseries for Image.
Duke, the GI Joe Duke.
Yep.
Got it.
Gotcha Man. A couple of issues of Hello Darkness. So I've seen his work actually quite a few times. Just I'd never maybe stop and notice before. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's always that one work that goes like, oh, makes you notice their work more than before. It just stands out. It's a very beautiful book to look at.
I have a pick for next month, and
Yeah, what do you have?
it's a newer book, so I might have to send you the file for it. It's by
What
Rom V.
by who?
Rom V.
Okay, which book is it?
It's called Rare Flavors.
Rare Flavors. I'm gonna look
Yes.
that up right now.
I think you're going to get very interested by it because it kind of hits something that you do a lot of lately in the last
Huh.
year.
All right. And what is that? This is on what? Like, how many issues are there?
It's 4 or 5 issues.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh yeah,
rather
found it.
small.
It's what?
I think it's like 4 to 6 issues. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Rare flavors. And this cover is really nice. All right.
It's got
Got it.
mythology and it's about cooking around India
Nice. I hate cooking. Thank you very
with a
much.
horror element.
Okay, so all right. I've
So
been lately getting into a lot of horror art and stuff like that. So
so
this would be a good addition.
it's a very eclectic book, and it kind of makes me want to talk about it because it's so offbeat, and I loved it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Rob Lee is
All
someone
right.
I really liked his book. Like he did a series called The Many Deaths of Layla Starr,
Okay.
which is about the Hindu goddess of death basically getting fired because a child was born that's unkillable, so it breaks the cycle of life. And it was just so interesting. And then he did a run of Detective Comics that everybody hates that I love.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was these people called the Orgums that have been at war with the Al Ghuls for centuries, and they come to Gotham and they take over and they try to kill Batman, and basically they try to hang him in public, and all the B-list characters have to break him out. And it's so they did each chapter like an opera.
Okay.
So each one is like opera terms. Like the second one was called Intermezzo.
Okay.
It was interesting. It was like a 4-arc story, and each arc was like a different part of the opera. There was like the build up, the crescendo, the end, and it
Yeah,
was basically
I'm
all the
gonna look that
weirdness
up.
in it. And he also did the Swamp Thing reboot. That was really
Oh,
good. Loved it.
oh, thank you. Sorry. The Red Earth, I think it's called, or something like that.
What's that?
What is
No,
what
no,
that?
no, not Dead Earth, not Dead Earth. Not Dead Earth. I know what you're talking about. It's not that. It was just called Swamp Thing. It came out during Future State, but it had
Okay.
a new Swamp Thing takeover, and it was different because it didn't have Alec Holland. It had nothing to do with any of the Alan Moore shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I very bold to do that, and I thought that was
Yes.
interesting. But yeah, rare flavors I think is going to be the pick because one, it's really out there.
All
Two,
right.
no family shit in it.
You're making sure that we don't.
Well,
Got it. Got it. No, no
there,
heavy
there was a
emotional
darker,
baggage with this one.
there was a darker book I almost picked, but it was. Did you ever read the Me You Love in the Dark by
No,
Scotty Young? Oof.
no, no.
Basically, a ghost, a woman who's a painter moves into a haunted house, and the ghost of the house falls in love with her, and it won't let her leave.
That's wild.
It was a crazy story, but it gets a little too dark, and I don't know if I'm in the
No,
headspace for it.
that's important to
But
make note to understand that.
it's one of the Scotty Young books that he wrote, and Adelzo Corona or Corona did the art, but I really like the covers were great. But we actually went through a lot and did it in an hour, which is very rare.
Record time, bro.
But not a whole lot going on. I bought way too many movies, and I think I'm gonna try and see Weapons tomorrow because I'm kind of
I saw
curious.
it yet. I saw it yesterday. It was a fun movie. Let me know when you see it, and then we talk about it. I'm not going to say
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, no, because I kept trying to look up what it was about, and you can't find shit. And I was like, okay, there's probably a reason for that. And I saw the Naked Gun reboot, and
Oh, is it fun? I want to see that one.
it's so fucking stupid.
Yes, yes, that's what I wanted to hear.
Luckily, I had a couple of drinks before I went.
Nice, nice. I'm definitely going to watch that one next.
Yeah, there is a scene that they randomly bring a snowman to life, and it becomes obsessed with them and starts chasing them around the house with a knife, and watches them bone in a hot tub.
There you go. Yeah,
So
most definitely want to watch that movie.
a little bit of magic in it. Outside of that, not a whole lot going on. Gearing up for Halloween time. Gonna have
Oh yeah,
a lot of streams going on that month, and going to Halloween Horror Nights at the end of September. So that should be fun.
nice.
Much money.
I have actually a few things on my agenda for the next few months. I'm working on a script for the Holiday Spirits new anthology book that comes out, I think, in December. It's a really cool story with Medusa. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to spoil it, but it's an 8. I'm going to be contributing 8 pages to that one. I have 2 stories for the next volume of the Cthulhu Invade series. So I'll be on the volume 4 of this series, which would be Grim Fairy Tales Volume 2. So it's right now we have oh, and volume 3, sorry. For volume 2, I have one that the Kickstarter is going on. It's live right now. And then for volume 3, I have two stories in that other new volume that is not. I already have the scripts, and we haven't even finished working on the second one. So I have that going on. It's fun. And I just finished a bunch of cards of the Pope for Dynamite. It's wild.
You've basically been drawing the Pope for Ghost for a while.
Exactly. You know, it's like, oh, you want to draw the Pope? I said, let's do this.
Papa Emeritus? No, the actual Pope. Oh, that Papa.
No, I know that it was Pope Leo. You know, so but I wanted to do it. I didn't even finish the email when I was already replying back to put me out down for a few of these cards because I want to do it just to say that I did
it. Thank you to everybody who joined us on Twitch for the first time. I had to check on the app to make sure we were actually live. We were. No comments made through, so if you comment on Twitch, it might be a StreamYard glitch. I'll have to look into that because I didn't get it on YouTube either, which is weird, but hey, it happens. But just for newer viewers, we tried to the 3rd week of the following new month, doing the show, usually on a Wednesday. Sometimes it has to be on a Thursday, but we try to stick in those 2 days unless something wild happens. But you can follow us on social media to know when that's going to happen because I'm usually will just post the shit out of it constantly because that's what I do apparently at this point. But thank you and look forward to seeing y'all next time. Take care and goodbye.
Bye.